there is this kind of conversation or maybe discussion that has been going about the fourth industrial revolution. They were like, if we are going to start using robots, many people are going to lose their jobs. So we understand that as maybe entrepreneurs, and we start thinking of maybe finding another way of creating solutions to tackle those challenges and maybe to secure the jobs or employment for ourselves. But on the other hand, I think of those other people. If we are going to be like 2.5 billion in 2050, maybe 500 million people are going to be entrepreneurs. So what are other people going to be doing? Those who are not going to be able to be entrepreneurs, how are they going to make money if most of the jobs are going to be done with robots? So it's maybe something we can discuss and see whether there is even an opportunity for those other people, because at some points we may be entrepreneurs, but again thinking about the social life of others. Maybe some of us may be social entrepreneurs and be thinking of making money but also creating better livelihoods for other people. So if someone is interested in trying to find solutions to other people, what could we advise those remaining people who are not going to be able to enter into that fourth industrial revolution as entrepreneurs to find a way of living in that kind of situation?
I think I'm going to respond and say I'm an optimist. What do I mean by I am an optimist? Just because some jobs disappear doesn't mean new jobs will not be created. There used to be the job of the horse driver, the carriage driver. It doesn't exist anymore. But then we came up with other jobs like chauffeur. And if chauffeur disappears, there will be other jobs. I'm not worried about that. I think that my son was doing a study once and they were saying, what will robots be used for? And he said the 4 Ds, the jobs which are dirty, the jobs which are dear, in other words, very expensive, the jobs which require detail, and the jobs which are dull, they're boring. That's what robots are going to be used for. Now, a robot doesn't just work, it needs to be programmed, it needs to be maintained, it needs to be installed. Those are all other jobs that will exist. Who's going to be doing those jobs? Who's going to be making them more efficient? In other words, we're changing one job for another. And I think there are enough jobs and there are enough things for people to do that are not necessarily dull or expensive or require a lot of detail that can be imagined. And I have faith. This is what entrepreneurship is about. It's about creating enterprises, and enterprises come then with jobs. I have faith that we will make it. The other thing I know though that has been practically is being done. There are countries now like Finland where they pay everybody a minimum wage. You don't have to work. As long as you're a certain age, the minimum wage of a country is X, you earn it. Then you can do whatever you want to do with your time. It gives people room to be more creative, and they're thinking more about doing that and introducing other systems and structures in governance like taxing robots. So the robots will pay income tax or some kind of tax that will be available then to the government and to the governance systems, and through that system people will be paid a certain minimum amount every month that can sustain their livelihoods, and then you will have freedom to decide how you want to work. The other thing I always say when we're historical context, employment came with the Industrial Revolution. The whole concept of having a job came with the Industrial Revolution. And in Africa, actually, it came even after the Industrial Revolution. It came when colonialists landed here and they created governance structures and started industries, and then they created work. But we used to work. Just because there was no job and salary doesn't mean people were not working. So the concept of work and the concept of employment, I think, are two different concepts, and we're going to have to go back to an age where we negotiated. What does it mean to work versus what does it mean to be employed? And if we're in the fourth industrial revolution, are we actually having employment in this revolution, or are people just going to have work, but it's not necessarily employment? This is food for thought, and I think a big conversation that we can have.
I
had just one question about the challenge. I think one of the challenge we have here in Africa is just the